Extremely disappointed once again. Really, actually, very surprised. Great week of preparation. Great bye week of preparation. Thought they were fresh, locked in. Felt like we had a good plan, and then same old things bite us in the butt. So disappointed, but I still believe in this group. I think they're a good group of kids. They're trying to do things the right way, and it's just not going our way right now.
With a game like this, with a team like this, that with Navy, when you get off to,
He can come up. It's like two of them. It's not like this is
Yes.
freaking Alabama. Let's go. Come on, bud. You can come up here. Go ahead. Let's see.
but how much pressure does it put on you when you don't get off to that quick start? And they scored a couple early, and you go not 3 and out, but you failing up fourth down and things like that early on. I mean, how much does that sort of shape what happened today?
It's hard. We had a plan to go in offensively to kind of play keep away a little bit. We wanted a high volume of runs. Didn't want to play quite as fast all the time. We're very conscious of the way you beat these teams is you kind of have to beat them at their own game. And then you get down, and next thing you know, it's, okay, let's try to play this way, but we got to score points too. And you got to get stops. Listen, you're never going to beat anybody if you don't get stops. So we didn't get any stops. And, we can't be a football team. And frankly, it's embarrassing because the history of this program is built on defense. So we can't be a defensive football team that doesn't get stops. Like, at the end, you're not going to win anything. I don't care what we do on offense. You can put Superman back there. You can put Patrick Mahomes back there. We're not going to win the game unless we get stops, and we're not getting enough stops. And we had, 31 plays in the second half? I mean, just not doing the things it takes to win.
Coach, going forward, what do you guys do to kind of stop the penalties? I think you had 10 or 11 for 104 yards today.
Yeah, I got to keep preaching, making good decisions. I mean, we talk about it all the time. My philosophy, which is obviously not working right now, is teach them to make better decisions off the field and make better decisions on the field. So, there's accountability to poor decision-making on and off the field, and we'll continue to enforce it. I don't know what else to say. It's like these are players that don't have these things come up in practice, and they come up in the game. So it's disappointing.
I know you're big on self-evaluation. When you sit down and look at a tape like this, kind of, how do you approach it to evaluate yourself while you're watching, evaluate your team? Just sort of, what's the process, I guess, after a day like today?
It's a hard one. I have a hot wife, but she's not as hot after a loss. I like food. It'll suck. He's the same. He's awesome, regardless. It's hard. It's really hard. I told the team they should name football hard. It just really is. It's hard when you work for something so hard. You give up so many things. I'm talking about our players, not us. I'm talking about our players sacrifice so much, try to do things the right way, and then all of a sudden you don't get your way. And I think a lot of people have been conditioned that if you do the right things, then good things happen, and that's just not necessarily true all the time. You got to keep doing the right things again and again and again, and eventually good things will come. And this can be a challenge because you have some guys that are jumping out of the boat. You can see it after the game. They don't believe in this way because they're not getting what they want out of it. So your team, thanks, buddy. Your team, because they're not going to listen to me tell them, hey, good things are coming. You need veterans who will explain to them that, do we love football or do we just love what football brings us? Because we get to do this. We don't have to do this. We get to do this. And, after I dust it off and hang out with him a little bit tonight, I'll wake up with the hair on my arms tingling tomorrow and try to find us a way to get better. I've tried a lot of things. I'll look for new things. I'll call the people that I trust and ask them if I'm doing things the right way and keep looking for answers.
Coach, offense picked up a little bit there in the second half.
What did?
Sir?
What'd you say?
Oh, I said the offense picked up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yes, sir. So I was just wondering what you saw that kind of stuck out there.
The whole big game plan was built on running the football and suckering them a little bit. And, we're able to get in some run sets and get them close to the line of scrimmage and make some plays. We ran the ball well all day. I don't know what the stats are, but we didn't feel like we're having a hard time. These are prescription for my blind, but
193.
yeah, I mean, we have 193 yards rushing. What was our yards per attempt?
43 for 193.
Yeah. So, thanks, buddy. We felt like we were running the ball pretty well. We need to make more plays. Sorry, that's embarrassing. We need to make more plays in the passing game. So that's our points. You run the ball to win, but you throw the ball to score.
With Navy defending them, I mean, obviously you had a tough time defending them today. How difficult is it to prepare for them from what you do in practice and compared to what you see on film when they get out there?
It's very difficult, and our scouts did a great job. And we had some guys that just sold out this week on the scout team to give them a look. I was really proud of them. I talked to them before the game, how proud of them I was. I thought we gave a good look. At the end of the day, to stop this, you got to get off blocks. You got to get off blocks, and we didn't get off enough blocks. Like you're not gonna out scheme them, but you can out manhandle them, and we weren't able to do that.
You touched on this a little bit, but when you're in the midst of a season, and you have to turn the page now to the next one. How tough is it to turn the page after a day? Again, a day like today. Is it tough to turn the page?
I've lost a lot of games in my life, Steve. I think today it hurts. It hurts. It sits with you. You learn over time to learn how to process that, not whine. That sign outside my door is outside my door for a reason, so I read it every day. No problems, only solutions. So you get into solution making, trying to treat people well while I'm doing it. The traditional way of doing it is to go in and yell and scream and throw things and blame people and make wholesale changes. I've been part of all that. That leaves too much shrapnel. Could it win a game? Yeah, I could scare people into winning a game. It's not going to win us championships. It's not going to win in recruiting. It's not going to win in relationships. So it's an empty way of doing it. I know there's people who are very successful that have done it. I think they're going to be miserable when they're old. I want healthy relationships with everybody in this building. So we're going to try to do it the right way. We're going to try to teach, learn, grow, move on. And we talk about flushing. We'll flush it tomorrow night with a developmental scrimmage, some corrections with the guys that played today. They'll have Monday off, and then Tuesday we'll come back, and my expectation standards will be exactly the same. I hope others follow.
In this day and age too, with the social media and just different things, how do you keep the players from not tuning too much into the outside? But you talk a lot about inside the building. I mean,
Yeah, that's
how do you keep that?
impossible. Listen, that's impossible. I walked in the locker room after the game, and people are on their phones. It's just what people do. You gotta make a choice at some point in your life, and this is to everybody. Are you gonna believe it? Is that how you're gonna dictate your life, by what other people are saying? 95 of those people you'd never ask for advice. 95% of those people you never ask for advice. Like, they gotta choose that. These are young people trying to be men. And if they're gonna be good men, they're gonna learn to tune out the garbage that's out there. I love that Nick called it rat poison, the good and the bad. If you're choosing to watch it, if you're choosing to listen to it, you're a fool, right? Because only the foolish follow what people are saying. Have some conviction, show up, grow as a man, grow as a player, and move on. But if you're dictating your life based on what other people saying, then in my book, you're a fool.